friends and families today set to pay their last respects to one of the victims of last week's shooting in Folweni, that's in the south of Durban. Exactly 1 week ago, gunmen killed 6 people when they stormed a house in that area. The victims include 4 men and 2 women who are aged between 26 and 32 years. KZN police continuing with their investigations but believe that the shooting could be crime-related in some respects. We'll try take you to those proceedings as soon as we can. Of course, it's a shooting that has raised all manner of questions around the safety of ordinary members in that area. In fact, in Folweni is our reporter Nkosikhona Duma, who joins us now live. And Nkosikhona, perhaps let's begin with what we know so far about the circumstances around the shooting 1 week later.
Well, and we know that on Sunday, 6 people, well, about 7 people were having a party, according to the police, of course, here in KwaZulu-Natal, here in Folweni, when, unknown gunmen opened fire on them, killing 6 people almost instantly. One person, a 27-year-old woman, survived that particular shooting and was rushed to hospital. We're told that, the youngest victim was just 16 years old. What we have been told is that the matter could be related to use of drugs. I mean, we are at the home of Sipho Mthembu. His mother, Thandazile Mthembu, has been, quite transparent about the fact that her son was a drug user. The 32-year-old man was a drug user. These kinds of killings in KwaZulu-Natal are becoming a concern because these mass shootings, they appear now to be periodically occurring, especially in semi-rural townships like this. And of course, police are saying, investigations are still ongoing. But the motive, of course, for the attack has not yet been established.
Think about the shooting itself. There'd be obvious concerns around safety, even at the funeral that you're attending. What sense are you getting, though, from ordinary mourners and people who are related to the victim who's being laid to rest today, about how safe they feel, even whilst attending today's burial?
Okay, well, and I'll tell you that, when my colleague Gift Nkosi and I made our way here, we had to find parking because it's quite difficult in this particular yard. As you would expect, they are having a funeral. And we're talking to one of the neighbors here, and they're saying that drug use is a real pandemic in this particular community. In fact, one of the neighbors was telling us that his own son is a drug user, and of course, this has created a lot of, safety issues in this particular community. In fact, they're saying that a few weeks before this particular murder occurred, also an alleged drug user who lives about 5 houses away from here was murdered. But I just want to bring, of course, now the uncle of Mr. Sipho Mthembu, Mr. Tabani Nganane, Mnumzane Nkuma no Ayanda Nyathela engisebenza naye, ukhathazekile uyazibuza mhlambe abantu bakule mphakathi lona mekhuluna indaba yokuphepha bazizwa kanjani?
Hayi bona kulomphakathi ukuphepha abazizwa kahle abantu bala ngendlela esekwenzeke ngayo izinto ihlale zenzeka izinto la kuthulekile nje akuqhubeki lutho sekakukho okwakhekayo esikubonayo ukuqhubekayo kuya phambili.
Lesimo esenzekile la khona abantu bebulawa ngehluko esingaka, kubulawa abantu abawu6 kuze kuthiwa omunye ulimala endlela usifanele esibhedlela ku-critical care. Kuniphathe kanjani kakhulu njengeminye yemndeni ethintekile kulesigameko esibuhlungu kangaka?
Akukho kuhle ngoba sike sibone ukuthi umthetho usibone ngathi awusebenzi umthetho. Akukuhle nje kakhulu ngoba ngafika nangalo langa losuku ngakhala ngomthetho ngathi umthetho awusebenzi. Umsebenzi wawo khona ama-drug deal ukuthi abe mangaka la kukhona konke lokho. Akukho ukulungiswa kwayibhamu sigcwele umhlaba wonke. Akukho nje ukulungiswayo okutshengiswa ukuthi ilando leyibhamu kulungiswe nje lapha nalapha ukuze abantu bakwazi ukuhlala ngokuthula.
Mhlawumbe ngokwakho ukubuka wena Mnumzane Ncanana, yini isisombululo sale inkinga enibhekene nazo kakhulu nje lokusetshenziswa kwezidakamizwa okuze kuthelele kuthina abantu babulawayo kabuhlungu kangaka?
No, ngithi mina uhulumeni akasebenze. Kuba uyena ovala zonke. Asebenze nje ayivala idingo zabantu abadayisa idakamizwa ngoba kwayena uhulumeni uyayidayisa nayo idakamizwa kubona abasebenza khona. Asukume nje uhulumeni ubheke icele kusetshenzwe lokhu kwangempela nje izonke indawo la kudayiswa khona idakamizwa iphele ngoba kanti la kufo uhulumeni bakusasa.
Well, sibonge kakhulu Mnumzane Ncanane. And I will tell you that the funeral proceedings are expected to commence just behind me. My colleague Gift Nkosikhona now showing you these images, of course, of this marquee where the funeral service is expected to take place. I'm just going to ask Gift now to pan to show you exactly the area of the incident. You know, if you can see where I'm pointing out there, you know, light in a shack. About a week ago, and that is, of course, the site that saw the demise of at least 6 lives. The mother of, you know, the late Sipho Mthembu, telling my colleague Karinda Jackmohan in the week that she survived this particular shooting, that, you know, when she heard the gunshots wound, her immediate instinct was, of course, to try and inspect what was going on. Unfortunately, a fire was opened on her. I think my colleague Gift now is trying to show you images of where a bullet hole still remains. The family is on edge, and as you heard from Mr. Tabane Ncanane, he's saying, of course, issues of safety in this particular community are a real concern, and they're concerned, of course, about the role of the police in investigating these particular murders, in resolving these particular crimes. They're saying that, you know, people keep on dying here and nothing really happens. They're saying that the police have got to act. They're calling specifically on the name of Mr. Begitsele. They're saying this, it cannot continue like this, where lives are just lost willy-nilly and there appears to be no justice.
Yeah, absolutely. Sobering reflections there and visuals. Nkosikhona Duma live to us there with that developing story out of the south of Durban in the community of Folweni. Nkosikhona, thanks very much indeed.